Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to our Heritage on 91.3 Radio Maria, the voice of truth. My name is Stella Francis. I am your host. Welcome to our Heritage. Our Heritage is a program cut across Nigerian culture, cultural festival, food, music, dance, location, etc. Culture is a way of life, including acts, beliefs, and institutions of population that is passed down from generation to generation. Imagine passing a wrong information to a particular generation. Unimaginable, right? I think it's disastrous. Today on our heritage, we shall be discussing the importance of intergenerational relationships. Our guest speaker is Lady Charity Ohadua. She is the CEO and founder of Human Resource Working Partners, the president of Catholic Women Organization CWO Parish Maitama, a Catholic Knight of St. John, a philanthropist. She is well traveled, and that makes her a global citizen, if you like. With Lady Charity Ohadua, we shall be giving more information on the importance of generational relationship and more right after the break. Thank you for staying with us on 91.3 Radio Maria. Once again, my name is Stella Francis. I am your host. By the way, yesterday was African Unity Day, also known as African Day. It's celebrated on May 25th. It commemorates the founding of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, in 1963. This year theme focused on the importance of addressing malnutrition and food insecurity is important, but that is topic for another day. We might consider looking at this topic next week. But today we were talking about the importance of intergenerational relationships, given the rising crisis among young people in Nigeria, and insecurity, and also the lack of respect among young people. So this is why we are looking at intergenerational relationship. I don't know if our parents have missed it, but I think it's not too long. It's not too late to start looking in that direction. So together with Lady Charity Ohadua, we'll be doing this. So our mommy, can you please tell us the importance of intergenerational relationship?
Thank you very much for having me on this program this afternoon. Intergenerational relationship, I want to recoin it or rename it something that looks like intercultural relationship.
Okay.
We all come from different cultures, different backgrounds, different families, and we don't do things. We might not be doing the same thing the same way. So there's a lot of diversity, even in the way we exchange greetings, the way we relate. There is a part of this country where a young man needs to prostrate to greet an elder. There are some that you bow. There are some that you don't stretch your hands first to greet an elder. You wait for the elder to stretch out his or her hand to exchange pleasantry. This thing is something that has passed from generation to generation. And if you ask me, I think it's something that we actually have to hold firm, because it's a culture that in other continents they don't even have such a culture. When we want to showcase our generational relationship, from culture to culture, from age to age. For instance, here in Abuja, what a young man or a young woman would do here, you might just see an elderly person, you might just say hello to the person and go. But if you know that this same elderly person is from the same culture, you know what to do when you see such a person. For instance, there was a time I lived out of this country. When you get and see somebody on a bus stop, you say good morning, and you'll be surprised, culture shock, that the person is not responding. Because in that environment, it's not a culture for you to see somebody in the morning and say good morning. If you are not careful, he will ask you what is actually good in this morning, if the person cares to say so. So, but the African culture is something that has given us a big position even in other parts of the world, because they actually admire the way we interrelate. Some people say sister is only somebody that is born by your mother or your father. But in our own culture, somebody who comes from the same environment with you, the same culture with you, you call the person sister or brother.
Okay, thank you very much for mentioning greeting and mentioning the diversity that unites us together. We are so diverse, so much in the country, so diverse yet united, and then we are also yet we are advocating for unity. Of course, it's not like there's no unity. There's unity in the country, but we are advocating for more. I want us to look at the area of relationship between parents and family. I think it's missing in to some extent. That's why people don't longer value, not necessarily value their fellow humans. They can hurt humans at will. They can throw stones at fellow human at will without even feeling it. So I think that if there's relationship between mother and child, and most at times there's this common thing that has become a norm, that parents will oftentimes leave their children with maybe house help or something of that nature. It has made the children that the relationship it's kind of missing. Or do you think that relationship is missing among the parents and children, given the insecurity and the kind of things that is happening in our society today?
Yes, let me look at it from this point of view. We ought to learn a lot from our parents. Sometimes it's not about talking or scolding the child. It's about being a role model for your children. Sometimes our parents teach us something else and they do something else. For instance, sometimes we say it as a joke. My mom is in the house, but she said I should tell you that she's not in. And sometimes when we say that, it's a joke and we laugh over it. But this is a reality. Sometimes you give your child a different signal and you are doing a different thing entirely. So most times we spend our time with total strangers. Most of the things that the children learn from the strangers or visitors or cousins or uncles, the parents never get to know that the children are exposed to such situations or such environments, because most of the times the parents are not there. So if a child is always in an environment, a friendly environment, where people are appreciated, where people are respected, the child will grow up to learn that it's good to appreciate somebody. Somebody comes to you, you are going and something falls from your bag and somebody say, please, this has fallen from your bag. Oh, the child says, I'm so grateful, thank you very much for what you have done, because it's something the child has led from home. I used to have a child who stayed with us. Every time we go to church, or every time she's carried in our car and we get to the final stop, wherever, if we are going to church or we have an event we are going to, she comes down from the car and she said, uncle, thank you very much. This is something that is not even common with their own children, but this is how the child was brought up. She was brought up in a family where people appreciate every little effort, every little kindness, every little help somebody gives, you appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Talking about gratitude now, that reminds me of something that happened, and it's beginning to feel like most times we concentrate on training other people's children, the ones we bring maybe from the village to help take care of our immediate family, and end up not training our child, because we are trying to give our child the best, so to say, if you like, because most times we say we want to give our child the best, and I think sometimes it's not, because I saw a program on TV where a woman and her son, she had just one child, and they were all, both father and mother were civil servants, and in the end the father took ill and he retired. The mom also retired, and they were supposed to pursue for their pension, and somewhere along the line his father took ill and passed. So she has been worried. She's probably has been sick. She became sick because she was not able to run the pension and take care of her husband. So he died because of lack of funds. So she's devastated, and I don't know, maybe she became she became depressed. And so both the father, the son now, who is the only child, and his wife now accuse her that she's a witch, and they lock her in the room and make her feel that, okay, pastor has said she should pray and fast, and she will refuse to do that. So they lock her in the room, that okay, she has to do it by force. So in this case, I just think that the relationship that parents are supposed to have with their parents is not there, because if there is intergenerational relationship, the parent should be able to know what the father or the mother is doing. So even if a pastor tells a child that, look, this is what your mother is up to, you should be able to say, I don't think so, and should be able to look for the right help for her. So I think also that as much as children, as much as parents who think that they are training their children, or they are giving them the best, they are telling them not to do this and they are doing it, the parents also have a role. It's not just on the children. Or do you think so, or you just think that it's the children that are not listening at all?
Yes, very important. Children are gift from God. Whether they are your own biological children, or your foster children, or a relative of yours, they are all children created by God. And then, if everybody in the house should be responsible in a way, don't leave the responsibility. For instance, people will take turns to handle their own responsibilities. When everybody is working, including the mom, if it's a Saturday, everybody is going to be doing cleaning. You are also cleaning, the children are cleaning. They too will know that mom can also clean. Cleaning also is something mom can do, or dad can do. So, but not just that the children are cleaning, mom is not doing anything, or is not even paying attention. Even if you are not going to be part of what they are doing, try to say something. You can even start a discussion, go around all the people who are taking part in that morning show or whatever, to encourage them to do so. But not just to let everybody, your son is watching television, the other one is cleaning the kitchen, is washing. No, everybody should take turns to be part of whatever activity that is going on in the house, so that from there they also learn, because if you don't learn, you don't give what you don't have.
Correct. So thank you very much. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, I like the fact that she said parenting or how staying in the house is responsibility of everyone. It's not just for the parent alone. Children also have responsibility. But when we come back from the short conversation, we'll continue on intergenerational relationship. Thank you. Thank you for staying with us on 91.3 Radio Maria, the voice of truth. The program is Our Heritage. We are talking intergenerational relationship. Our guest is Lady Charity Ohadua. She's a regular guest here. And before we go on the short break, she was telling us the responsibility of family responsibility in the family is not just for parents, it's for both parents and children. So if you're listening, children, don't say that you're all the responsibility of even the chores and household in the house, it's for parents. No, you have your own responsibility, and your parents also have. And if you are a parent out there, okay, you should start thinking on how to split the responsibility in the house so that everyone will know what their responsibility is. So, on that note, we would like to ask our mommy how to promote intergenerational relationship.
Thank you very much. It's always good to go to memory lane. When we were growing up, we didn't have electricity at night, but we had the moon.
Okay.
So we go gather and listen to elders recount maybe their youthful days, what they did. Like there's one of my uncle who used to tell us that he told us a story that he was the youngest child of the family, and then what he did was that he made sure that no young man ever harassed any of the wives of his brothers. So even when they were going to the stream to fetch water, he gave them company, so that if you are a youth in that environment and you saw their wives, the wives of the brothers, and you try to molest them, he will go out to do the fighting. And then something like that. Now we have television, we have all sorts of things that keep us busy. So from time to time now we have video conversations. You can decide that on a particular day in a month, every member of the family will come together and have a discussion. Those who need to ask questions will also ask questions. And it's very important for the parents. You must teach your children their culture. It's very important. Very, very important, either in their language or in their activities, or songs and all kinds of things. So because I once told a child that you are schooling in the UK, for instance, and then you have your English friend with you, and then you want to have a conversation with your brother, because you cannot even speak your vernacular. Then you have to also speak in a way that your guest or your friend will understand. When you actually want to say something, or give a body language that you want only you and your brother to take, but because you cannot speak your dialect, or you cannot speak vernacular in any form, then you now speak in the language of where you are, and then you don't have a secret. Yeah. So it's very important that whether we are living in Nigeria or we are living outside Nigeria, we also let our children know that they are coming from somewhere. Let your children not be the one that will say, Mommy is from Nigeria, Daddy is from Nigeria, I am brought up here and that. No, that shouldn't be what we teach our children. Let your children know that you came from somewhere to go to be wherever you are now, whether you are in this country or you're outside the country.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Okay, thank you very much for bringing that sensitive aspect of it. Talking about you want to say something in your dialect, you put it in the public domain simply because you cannot speak your dialect. Our mommy is telling us that, and then she also mentioned technology, which is very key. Whether your child is in America, wherever your child is, you can always communicate him. She also talked about routine. So have a routine, watch movie with your child, and if your child is far, that brings us to this very important aspect that she mentioned, that the child should know their local dialect. Even if your child is far, there's a way you can culture your child to know the basics in the local dialect. Even if it's once in a week, twice in a week, you can call and give a few lessons so that your child discussion wherever he is will not be in the public domain simply because he cannot communicate with his brother from Nigeria. Or say for instance they are in Europe and he is talking to his brother from Nigeria. They should have a code, like they should be able to speak in the language that only the two of them will understand. So thank you for that one. We will open the phone lines while the conversation continues so that you can call us and contribute and tell us what you think about the topic, intergenerational relationship. What is the kind of relationship you have with your parent? Because the parents have a role in intergenerational relationship, children, and so its grandchildren. The number to call is 081 084 47518. 081 084 47518. Call us and tell us what you think about the topic. Do you even know how to speak your dialect, just like mommy has mentioned? Do you know it at all? Tell us. And do you have a routine that keeps you in check between your father and your mother and children, grandparents? Call us and let us know about what you are doing. So I would like to talk about the role of religious leaders in intergenerational relationship, because oftentimes people are more comfortable to talk to their religious leaders about what is going on. Just like what the story I was trying to say earlier on. The young man still went to his pastor, and his pastor told him his mother is a witch. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Afternoon. Abraham, from where, please? Okay, please go ahead and make your contribution. Okay. Go ahead. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. That's what I said. I said that it's the parents that will initiate it. Whether you are the one who is the housekeeper there, but if in some cases the parents will insist, for instance, make your room, wash your clothes, wash up your dishes after eating. So then that gives them opportunity to be part of what is happening in the house. But if their parents are not interested and they don't even want them to, even when they have finished eating their meals, they leave the plates on the dining table or everything, and maybe ring a bell or even call whoever is in charge of the kitchen to come and pack it. It's up to them. But rightly, they should be part of whatever activities are taking place in the house.
Yeah, but okay, thank you. I hope you're still there, but I want to ask also, is it okay for me, say for instance, I am working with children, and of course maybe he is not their parent, and he feels that a child should be able to do this. Maybe like child finish eating and you just tell him politely, pick that plate and take it to the kitchen. Is it okay to do that, or you have to wait until the parent does that by themselves?
We are talking about culture. If you have gone to stay with a family, you need to know their culture. Will the madam frown at it if you request? I'm not using the word request. There's a difference between requesting and ordering the child to wash plates or to make her room. If you request the child to clean up the dish, wash up the dishes, make her room, wash up her clothes, it depends on the parents if they allow that. But rightly, they should allow it. They should allow it for the proper upbringing of the child, not even for the housemaid. The housemaid or housekeeper is being paid every month. He receives his salary, and because he's a skilled person, that's why he's there. So it's even good that you expose your children to the help of the housekeeper, who will now teach them, if they are interested, how to use all the gadgets you have in the. Some of them have all these gadgets in the house, for cooking, for washing, and the children don't know how to do it. But this housekeeper is a professional, and if they are interested, they can also learn a lot from the housekeeper. So it depends on the parents. If they will not frown at it that you are requesting their children to wash up their dishes. They will ask you, why are you there? But if it's somebody who is sane, he will know that it's for the good of the child.
Okay, I hope, Abraham, that answers your question. Okay, we lost the call. Thank you very much. I hope she answered your question. But before that, we were talking about the role of religious leaders in intergenerational relationship. Do you think that families should depend so much on religious leaders to keep the relationship going?
The religious leader is just like every other human being. Here in Nigeria, for instance, if you are outside this country, you go to church, you just dress simply, you don't even, for instance, the Catholic Church in European countries, they don't play loud music like we do here in Abuja. They just do solitary worship and go away. But my position on that is that they live in a cold weather. They wear warm clothing to warm up. Most of the times they are cold. So it's difficult to begin to be vibrant. But we here in Africa, we're already in a warm environment, and we have the tendency to be vibrant. So the religious leaders are human beings like us. You just go and pray and ask God, who is the supreme being, to help you. But you don't begin to behave as that a religious leader or has replaced God for you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that one. Please, the phone lines are open. Call us and tell us if you have concern, question, or you have contribution to this subject matter. Please don't. We are happy to take your call and also listen to you. Thank you for that one. Your position on religious leaders. I also think that if there's a relationship, we'll understand, because if there's a transition between a mother who like when she's aging, there are things that things begin to change. The mother who wakes up and maybe fry, get in the kitchen, cook, and then give everyone, all of a sudden, as time goes by, she becomes maybe a bit ill, maybe weak. Thank you. She becomes kind of weak, and then she can't do all those things, and then by so doing, every day is changing from weak, not being able to cook. Maybe she's even demanding for you to maybe go to the bathroom, arrange water for her to bathe, and then we young people begin to call them names. what do you have to tell young people, because they have to know that there's transition between age. When you're aging, there are things that you expected to know, young people are expected to know. So can you like
I want to also sound this note that the young will be old one day.
correct?
And as your mom or your dad gets weak, one day too, you too will be weak. And we need, if you will have to need somebody to assist you do certain things. Here in our country, we have not developed to the extent that we have a lot of old people's home where people are paid to take care of these persons. You come maybe weekend or every day after work to see your mom or your dad. But that that part of the industry has not actually developed in this country. So if you have an elderly person, you have to structure or organize yourself in a way that you'll be able to take care of them. That's why somebody desires to have children.
Okay.
But what happens in like in our own Igbo language, they said when you have a goat that is owned by many persons, sometimes starves to death, because this person will say she will take care of mom, this one will say she will take, I know she will take care of mom, so she will maybe has 12 children, and everybody is hoping that this person is taking care, this person is, at the end of the day nobody is taking care of mom or dad. So make it your point of responsibility. I want to appeal here. 2 years ago my mom passed, and I want to tell anyone listening to me now, if you still have your parents alive, make it a point of duty to take care of them. Go out of your way. Don't just lock them in. Make sure you bring them to activities, something like this, what we are discussing in this studio now. Let them have a small radio to listen to what is happening in society. Let them also make them go to friends. If there is a church activity in the church, make an effort to make it possible to somebody for somebody to take them to that event. Don't just lock them up like prisoners. They are not prisoners because they are old. So get carers. If you can afford it, have nurses, have carers who will take your mom. Don't just leave your mom's care to one person, because what happens is that if you are bringing the whole world to take care of all the material things you are bringing to take care of mom, the person will just be siphoning it out of the house, and at the end of the day, the mom is not getting anything.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Yeah, tell us your name, please. Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make your contribution, Francis. Thank you. Okay.
And I want to encourage every parent.
Okay.
Whatever you tell your child to do now, that's what you're going to see most of.
Correct.
Yes.
The only corn you plant in a rainy season that you will use for dry season.
Absolutely.
The firewood you fetch in dry season, that's what you're going to use in rainy season.
Absolutely.
So if we do not teach our children how to respect elders, how to go about this, definitely when we become old, our children did not follow up and we did not tell them, definitely they will not care for us.
Okay.
Because if you are being taught how to respect elderly person, definitely when you get old, you will be respected.
Correct.
Yes, because the time that is being born will grow.
Yes.
Definitely, a time will come, that child will get stronger. A time will come, that child will get older. A time will come, that person will die. That is the nature.
Yes.
So we must make sure we
Okay.
But if you are fond of all the guys to have a house there,
Mm.
and your child doesn't even know how to cook, a time will come,
Okay.
those children will become another thing.
Okay.
I know not that to employ someone to help you is bad. It's not bad. But some people are taking it in the other way around.
Okay.
Because the base is there, their children, they will not teach that, they will not allow, in fact, their children will not even come close to the kitchen to know how food is being prepared, to know how to tidy up the house and all that. And that's what's happening now in so many marriages today that will have divorce here and there. Because sometimes our mothers don't teach their daughters how to take care of their home. So when they later marry, they will be coming to the house.
Okay. Thank you very much for that contribution,
Bring
Francis.
our children upright
Okay.
so that we enjoy our fruit of our labor when we get old.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. If you are listening, the number to call is 081 084 47518. 081 084 47518. Yeah, our last caller just joined his voice with our mommy's own, telling us that we have to allow our children to learn house chores so that when the time comes they will also be able to practicalize what they have learned. If you don't give them the chance, they probably will not be able to give it. So you have to give them the chance so that they can be able to give it, because they have it. If they don't have it, they can't give it. While our mommy was talking, she made mention of assumption, like for instance, a parent or a household have more than 3 children, and every child is assuming that maybe Stella is closer to the mom and she will be the one to be taking care. If I'm not there, probably John will be taking care. And you see that John is also depending that maybe Stella is there, and you see that in the end your parents are not getting care because you are assuming, and you are shifting your role to someone else. So do it and own it, that if it's not too much, I mean, she gave birth to parents gave birth to you differently. So why do you think that taking care of them should be collectively? It's okay for it to be collectively, but if you can do it as individual, why not? And if you are not doing it, you have to communicate and be sure that someone else is doing it, so that in the end you will not say someone is doing it why someone is not doing it. Thank you very much. Call us and let us know your opinion on the topic. We are discussing intergenerational relationship between grandma, grandpa, grandparent, mother and children. So because I think that there was a recent killing in is it Canada, in Texas or something, where the young man said when he turned 18 he had gone, and he wrote on his social handle that he's going to kill his grandma, and boom, before you know it, he shot his grandma. And then he also made another post on media, on his social handle, saying that he's going to attack a school, and he was there in the school, and this is how he shot some student and they lost their life. So I think that do you think that if there was intergenerational relation— good afternoon, tell us your name. Okay, sorry, we lost that call. Please call us back and tell us what you think about the subject matter. So mommy, I'm just feeling like maybe relationship is missing between, even from his immediate family. If you can— good afternoon, tell us your name and where you're calling from. Yeah, good afternoon, please tell us your name. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, please. Hello. Good afternoon, tell us your name and make your contribution. Okay, sorry, we lost that call. So do you also think that relationship was missing in that contest?
Yes, I tend to think that relationship was missing. On the other hand, it is also possible that from the beginning the parents have been working on this child, and he is bent on taking that path that he has taken. because they would have seen that tendency for the child to drift to such a situation where he will go as far as taking someone's life. So I'm sure that the parents, they have been working on him. It's not, I don't want to believe that they didn't know that he has the tendency to do that. I'm sure they too have been working on the child, and have done their best, maybe, or on the other hand, that they have not paid attention. But if he went to his social handle.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Afternoon. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from before you make your contribution. Okay. Please go ahead and make your contribution. Thank you. Thank you.
Better.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution. Please stay with us and have a blessed day. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So he is also joining his voice with our mommy's voice, telling us that the responsibility should be for everyone. Don't assign the responsibility only to the house help or to to your steward or to your domestic staff. Let it go around so that your child would also learn. Okay, so talking about parents, okay.
Let me add that when in a home, when it is time for work, everybody works. When it's time for meals, everybody in the house also should eat the same time. Not just that a particular group will eat in a particular place, another person will eat at the back of the yard, and all those things. So when you do that, your children also grow up to know that all human beings are equal. They have that sense that you should not discriminate against anybody, because we are all equal before God.
Thank you very much. We are all equal before God. The number to call to make contribution is 081 084 47518. 081 084 47518. So talking about family, our mommy have just said that church, and also all the callers also are also advocating that church should go around everyone in the family. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Yeah, tell us your name, please. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from before you make your contribution or ask question. Sorry, we lost that call. Please call us back and let us know what your opinion is about the subject matter. So I was trying to find out, because parents just feel that okay, my child needs to get the best out of life. I need to do everything good for my child, and that's that makes them buy the biggest phone. And by the way, phone has also become a thing of status now. What phone is your child using? You see parents buying iPhones and the big phones, Android phones for their children. What do you think about giving children phones and even also having social handle at a very young age?
Yes, the phones generally has become a challenge for both the young and the old, and I think it's a matter of discipline. If your child is in school and need this phone for academic purposes, that is okay. But if it's for status symbol, then that is, I think I want to say it's a suicide mission for the child. So when they use the phones should be monitored. You don't just let them have the phone. Sometimes I just pity those who are the ones doing the formation, teachers, lecturers. I don't know how they cope, because the phones are big distractions for the young people, and it needs the parents to impact that sense of discipline, when to use the phone and when not to use it. You need to take away the phone, not just say, well, don't use this phone from this time to this time. You need to physically take the phone away when you think that the child should not have the phone. That's my take on that.
Thank you very much. We go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation will continue. Thank you so much for staying with us on 91.3 Radio Maria, the voice of truth. The program is Our Heritage, and we are talking intergenerational relationship. Talking about intergenerational relationship, I'm wondering, sometimes, a lot of times, parents think that teachers should do all their job, like the children also, they don't spend much time with their children, but any slightest mistake that happened with the child in the house, the parent is on her way to the school, or pick a phone and call the teacher and say, this and this is happening. The fact that we are paying so much tuition fee, does it mean that we should leave all the parenting to the teachers?
Yes, I think what should happen is that the parents must know that it's their primary responsibility to bring up their children in a way that they will make a positive impact on society. The teacher is actually there to earn a living. The teacher is there to earn a living. Notwithstanding that, the fact that some people are just carved out for caring, for forming the children. Some comes to them naturally. Some are there because they look for this job A, they didn't see, so they decided to take job B. So, but it's the primary responsibility of the parents. So if you must create time. You must create time, even if it's 1 hour. Even if you want to go to that school and say, hello, John, how are you? I just came to say hello to you. John will know that sometime mom will come to the school, even if it's 1 hour, have a handshake, have a hug, and you go away. But when you are not there, there's something I was watching, a program that the parents didn't even know that their child has been swapped for another child. But the child was in that. The houseboy said, I went to look for him in a particular day. I didn't see him. So when I didn't see your child, I took this one that was there.
Oh my God.
So it's as bad. That is I should is a play, but then some situations have gotten to that level. So it is, you must create the time. For instance, you might, if your child wants to take something from you, say, okay, when we have finished looking at your paper, your books for on Saturday, I will give you this, I will give you this. That will make the child get prepared for, so okay, on Saturday mom is going to look at my books, ask questions, you know. After that, he has done that, you might just give me a gift and say, oh, okay, you have done well in school, keep it up, try to put your things together for the week. You know, if the child is going from home, you put your things well, your uniform and everything for this, you put your school. No, even I just noticed that some students, they don't even know that there is something like timetable. There should be a timetable even in the primary school. You know what the teacher is going to teach next. Normally in those days you would have prepared yourself ahead of that particular lesson so that you're able to follow. It's not just you just go and plunge yourself into the class and the woman or the man who is your teacher rattles and goes away, and you just take your book and go away. It's not the same thing.
Okay. Thank you very much. Our guest is saying if you're a parent out there, you need to have relationship with your child, because if your child, and then she is also talking to the teachers also, the children need to have their timetable so that they have a routine, they know when is what, and then by so doing, if a child has a timetable and he goes through it with his mother, is another way of having some bonding time with your parents, so that your mom can check and tell you, okay, this is what is happening. Even I also think that parents should also have timetable, even food timetable for the child before he goes to school. They figure it out together. They have some time to bond together, and that way they are not leaving all the responsibility for teachers, because teachers are there to earn a living, not necessarily because they love your child. There are a lot of children in the class. They cannot give care to all the children at the same time. They can only try. So parents, don't think that if there's anything that goes wrong because you are not checking, you just feel that, okay, the teacher is the next person to bounce on. So let us all get involved in the lives of children, and that way we will promote intergenerational relationship. On this note, I want to say thank you for all our callers, for all of you who tried to call, maybe for network your call was not true. We apologize for that. We hope that you will call us next time and we will have conversation together. On this note, I will say thank you for listening. It's Radio Maria 91.3, our heritage with Stella Francis, comes up every Thursdays and Fridays. Keep a date with us tomorrow for another interesting package. Thank you.